Hello, welcome back. It's time to do some character building. Yes, that's right. Every week we do character building, and I am doing character building for a Ranger, Pathfinder 2nd edition. I'm going to be putting up a poll in a second. We'll be cracking into this pretty quickly. My suggestion to you is get your brain working, get comfortable, get some food, some drink, make sure you're ready for this, and we'll wrap into this or rock into this very, very quickly, like we generally always do. Here we go. All right, sound is working fine, video is working fine. We're all good. We're all good. Now this is where the audience gets to build a character with me. We have been going down the journey of Pathfinder. Pathfinder it is. Anyway, let's go. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about role-playing games. We're going to do some character building for the Ranger. We're not going to make Hawkeye, but we're not going to make a superhero. Well, I don't know. Are superheroes a thing now? Like, do we do this? Is that what the deal is? I'm not entirely sure. So what I thought it would be nice is to actually just go through the process. Now, I've been using Wanderer's Guide. It is it's a Pathfinder second edition website that allows you to build a character very easily, and it has a very similar format to D&D Beyond. So for those of you who have been playing Dungeons and Dragons 5e and you're trying to transition over to Pathfinder, I think you'll find that this is actually pretty easy for you to deal with, which is one of the reasons why I've selected it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done this. It's just a reality. What I would like to just do is a quick call out because the Professor Dungeon Master, as he calls himself, had said it's time to promote some different games outside of the big ones. So I thought I would promote some games, not always, there's still a little bit of that here, but so I'm going to promote today Dark Heresy, which is a role-playing game for Warhammer 40,000. It's an older version. This is the second edition. We'll finally get around to building characters for this someday, I'm sure. We are currently going through Pathfinder 2nd edition, which is why you see that. And underneath there you see Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the Player's Handbook. We might wind up winding back the clock a bit more and give me enough time. We might look at some Back-Me Dungeons and Dragons, which I don't think Wizards of the Coast is making an awful lot of money off nowadays. So I don't quite worry so much about doing stuff about that topic. Anyway, let's have a look at what we need to do here, and I'm going to start up my chat, and we're going to build a character together. I'm hoping that your input will be able to sort of drive that. Otherwise, it's not going to be much fun. It's more fun if you're involved, and I'm I'm just sort of a pilot. Is it a pilot? Not even a pilot. It's something, but it's yeah. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, here it is. This is the Wanderer's Guide, Pathfinder 2nd edition. We've made a few characters. I've made a couple of characters, at least 2 in live streams, and we're going to do the Ranger for today. I thought that would be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you are too. Now, there is the ABCs of Pathfinder. This is sort of how it's structured. Pathfinder is structured with a plan that where you go ABC. So you need to have a Google account to log into this. You also, if you don't have a Google account, you need to have a Reddit account. It's one of the things I don't like about the Wanderer's Guide. It's a beta website, so it's not complete, but so far it hasn't given me any technical issues. So you just go to create a character, which is a little person with a plus sign, and we start the process, which I'm hopefully going to actually have something working. Yeah, there we go. It's working now. All right, cool. It's moving. So we need to have a character name. We already know what level. We're going to build it to level 1, so we're just going to start off very basic. Hashtag. Need a name. Give me a name for this character, people. Need a name. Right, you come up with a name and I will go through the process of just setting things up. So we always start with all of our ability scores being 10, and then we'll make our adjustments from there. So you don't need to mess around with any of that, just leave that all alone. I'm not going to worry about using the Advanced Player's Handbook or the Game Mastery Guide for now. We're just going to use the core book. And then auto-detect prerequisites, class, archetypes, those are all on. It's good to have these. The auto detect prerequisites is good because it means if I miss something, the software or the website tells me what I've missed, which is great. So I like that. We can come back to the name. We'll name it later while you guys are making some decisions. Typing in there. Try not to get too raunchy if you can help it. Anyway, let's move forward. Press the little arrow to continue on. And there was going to be a few choices. Normally what I do with these live streams is I like you as the live stream audience to actually decide. So hashtag pick an ancestry. Okay. Now, what are the ancestries? I will read them out to you. We currently have dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, human. Hello, Fred Hubber. How are you? So if you can't see them, those are the choices for today. Ranger should have some spells. Original D&D Ranger was to druid, much as a paladin is to the cleric, a special warrior. Okay, all right. Just because it was done that way, for me, it's not. I'm not married to the idea personally. But if you are, that's fine. Diago, hello, Diago. Welcome back. I think Ranger should have abilities, but no spells. Okay, so you're a person who's sort of in the same vein as my headspace is. All right, interesting. You wish you could stay. I wish you could stay too. So we need to have an ancestry. It's either going to be dwarf, elf, goblin, dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, or human. So there are 6 choices, and if I don't get a choice, I'm going to roll randomly and just select it from that. Okay, so those of you who are here, make some choices, pick something. You might as well. Can't hurt at all. I suppose it could hurt, but I don't think it will. Let me just grab the right one. Yeah, and I'm going to just move myself over to a different position. Is that roughly about there? Okay, all right, there, on the other side. So you can actually see stuff, like I was blocking the way. Name, Gary Greenleaf. Gary Greenleaf. Okay, so we've got a name now. That's good. We may not have decided on what our ancestry is, but I can go back to home. Elf. All right, ancestry. We've got an elf today. All right, Gary Greenleaf. Whoopsies. Let's try it again. Gary Greenleaf. All right, Gary Greenleaf. Let's get you an elf. You want to go wood elf? All right. I can live with that. And we're there. All right, so elf. There it is. Got a rundown of the elf and the various boosts that we get and what we get for selecting the elf. So we will select this. Just like so. Now, heritage. You had said wood elf, and there is Arctic elf, Kevin elf, Seer elf, Whisperer elf, and woodland elf. So I believe woodland elf is what you're after. So we will select the woodland elf. Okay, now that we've done that, woodland elf. All right, so we've got a few things there. We make some choices. We need to pick an ancestry feat. Yes, Fred, do so. Direct away. Hashtag. So pick a ancestry feat. I will tell you what the ancestry feats are in a second. You saw by flyby? Nice. Good to know. So these are the ones that we have for our ancestry feat. We have Elven Lore, Elven Weapon Familiarity. Oh man, why can't I say that word? Forlorn, Nimble Elf, Otherworldly Magic, Unwavering Mane, Ancestral Longevity. So that's Elven Lore, Elven Weapon Familiarity. God, jeez. A bow skill and ancestry feats. A bow skill. Well, I guess That would probably be that. Let's just pick the Elven Weapon Familiar. I think that's probably what you were talking about there. You're training in the bow. Okay, so I think that's what that's all about. Let's have a look. You favour bows and other elegant weapons. There, bingo. That's exactly what we're after. So you get all the standard sort of. Yeah, right there we go. That worked pretty easily. So nice and simple. Done it. Gives us the stuff we need. We've got some boosts. We have to boost an ability score, and we need to take some languages as well. So we can boost strength, constitution, wisdom, or charisma, and we're going to be playing a ranger. So I know that's going to be confusing. Hashtag pick an ability score to boost. Yep. So, okay, all right, I selected the correct one, Fred. Nice. Thank you. You are moving things along very quickly. I like that. So right now, we already get a dexterity boost as part of our ancestry. We get an intelligence boost because of our ancestry. Then we get a free one. So the free one cannot be the same as the other two. So we get strength, constitution, wisdom, or charisma. And it's dexterity every time is always available. Yeah, no, it's not whether you do the boost, because you get it automatically as part of your ancestry. So you have to pick something else. So this is one of the things that's very different to I guess D&D that you might be familiar with, whether that's 5e or 4e or anything like that. The way that you can incorporate your boosts looks slightly different. You also get a flaw. So this character gets a flaw in their constitution, which means they get a -2. So instead of having a 10 in constitution, it's now an 8. You want strength? Okay, we'll pick strength. So right now our constitution is low. It's sitting at an 8. It's not disastrous. Then we need to pick a language. And I'm not going to read out all the languages because there's too many, but just come up with what you think might be a good idea for a language. Pick a language. And surprisingly, we're about 1/3 of the way through the character creation process. So right now our strength is 12, dex is 12, constitution is 8, intelligence is 12, and 10 for our wisdom and charisma. And it's doing all the maths for us. So you don't have to worry about figuring out your skill scores, your hit points, your class difficulty, perception modifiers or anything like that, or bonuses. That's not required. Okay, you are going to have that all done for you. So that's quite nice. We get common and elven as languages right off the bat, so you don't have to select those. They're not choices you make. You have to take those. Okay, they're already part. Dwarven. Thank you very much. Awesome. We will take Dwarven. D for Dwarven. Where are you? There we go. We got Dwarven. Right. So that's that bit. We have done all of the stuff we need for step A is ancestry. That's our ABC. So let's go to next step, which is B, which is background. So this is where you pick a background. I'll read them out, but hashtag pick background. Pick a background. Okay. Right. So think of backgrounds. I'll read them out. They're they sound what they like what they are. So an acolyte, an acrobat, an animal whisperer, an artisan, an artist, a barkeep, a barrister, a bounty hunter, a charlatan, criminal, detective, emissary, entertainer, farmhand, field medic, fortune teller, gambler. We've got here gladiator, guard, herbalist, hermit, hunter, might be a good one, labourer, martial discipline acrobatics, martial discipline athletics, merchant, miner, noble, nomad, prisoner, sailor, scholar, scout, street urchin, tinkerer, and warrior. And you want the hunter. Okay, good. So I have selected hunter. It tells you what you get. We get boosts to our dexterity and wisdom as part of this background, and then we get a free boost as well. Okay. And there we go. All right, so we have to select 2 boosts. We have to boost 2 ability scores. Hashtag pick 2 ability scores to boost. Okay. Hello, Global Product and Gaming Review. How are you? What range of build should a noob such as myself build? Whatever the hell you like. I just build whatever the heck you like, man. Like, I think people get sort of tied up in this sort of stuff. You want to fix the con? Okay. Let's see if we can pick up the... Oh, no, we can't do the con here yet. What about the other one? Yeah, there we can. Okay. So the next boost... Oh, what? That was intelligence. Con. Okay, con. Right, so the next boost needs to be dexterity or wisdom. Those are the only two that we get to select from. So I've boosted con as requested. How's it going, Roman? How are you? This build will be a good beginner ranger. I think this is pretty standard. I think going background hunter. I mean, I honestly, in the end, I don't think it really matters. I think you're kind of getting... I mean, this is part of the process, right? Like, if there's too many things going on, there's a problem. And if you're at first level, you don't want to have too many things going on, but you still want to get something out of it, right? So we fixed con, so we're going dex. Dex it is. Thank you very much, Fred. You're doing great. Okay, so now that was step B. We did step A, step B, and we're on to our last step, mostly, kind of. And that is we select our class, which we don't need to worry about because we're going to go ranger today. So we're picking a ranger. And it's having to think. Tells us all of our... Now we're going to have to boost a few things here. But it tells us how our ranger works, all our different abilities, and then we confirm. One of the things you might be noticing is when it comes to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there's no multi-classing. Believe it or not, there's no multi-classing. The system is built to allow you to modify and adjust your character based on some set things. Like, you know, you don't get everything under the sun. You get some things that would fit with that class. Okay, so we already get a boost to our strength, or boost our strength or dexterity is the first thing we can do. But we do get some boosts. We get some skills. So choose our key ability. So as a ranger, you know how sometimes, you know, you might want to build a ranger that is strength based or a ranger that is dexterity based. What type of ranger are we going to go for? You're aiming for a very playable build, and I appreciate that, Fred. Hello, ET Base. How are you? So hashtag, are we going dexterity or strength based ranger? So I think what this is trying to allow you to do is, if you want to play a ranger that uses bows and attacks from a distance, then you would go dexterity, because dexterity in Pathfinder is related to ranged attacks, okay? Certainly long-ranged attacks. If you wanted to go like a ranger that's up close and in your face with a melee weapon rather than a bow, or you wanted to go two-weapon fighting, then you're going to be going with strength, because, you know, you can. I mean, I'm sure there are going to be weapons that are finessable, but you may find that you decide that you want to be able to go shield sword, or you want to just go sword or something like that. You want to go dex? Okay, so we've got our dex is quite high already, so we've done that. I'm going to pick a skill. So pick a skill, hashtag, and I will read them out in a second. Pick a skill. Anybody is... I'm happy for anybody else to jump in here. Hello, Ancient Dragon. How are you? Okay, so feel free to jump in here. Fred is just moving things along because I appreciate that. So we get either acrobatics, arcana, athletics, crafting, deception, diplomacy, intimidation, medicine, the occult, performance, religion, society, stealth, thievery, and I believe we can have another law. We've got tanning law already. We've got nature as a trained skill, and we've got survival as a trained skill. We've already got those. They're already part of our character, okay? So it's now just a matter of deciding on what you want. Now, the thing about Pathfinder, unlike Dungeons & Dragons 5e or 4e or even 3.5 in many respects, is you can pick any skill in Pathfinder. Okay, they've decided that it's quite plausible to have a ranger that could have any of those skills. It's just whether you choose to have that skill for your character. So there isn't this hard, fast tie to certain skills. This is where you get your variety into your class. This is where the difference between your class character and your character and somebody else's will come up. You like acrobatics? Diego likes acrobatics. Yeah, I don't know if it calls it finesse weapons, but yeah. So I think we are going to go with acrobatics. Done. Right, now, we're not finished. Because even though we picked a proficiency change to become an expert in perception. Okay, so that is interesting. So you've got acrobatics. Now, proficiency change. Become trained in nature. So you're trained in perception, trained in nature already. And we have to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more skills. That's quite a few, if you hadn't figured it out. So pick a few more skills. Stealth. Pick 5 more skills. And I believe we've already got acrobatics. Stealth. ET base has said stealth. So has Fred. So we'll take stealth. But we're not finished. We still got 4 more to pick. So it could be arcana, athletics, crafting, deception, diplomacy, intimidation, medicine, occult, performance, religion, society, thievery, or a law. I haven't been picking up the laws because I'm not very familiar with what the laws are. So we've still got a lot of choices. I'm just going to have a drink of water. While you guys are making decisions, pump something in there. We've got 4 more to fill up. Now, one of the things you might be thinking is, hang on, don't we get more boosts? And we do. After we select our skills, we're going to be boosting some more abilities. So our ability score is going to get boosted by 2. Diplomacy. Okay, good. Let's take diplomacy. We need 3 more skills. So there's a lot of choices. We also will have to take, there's a couple more choices to be made down here, including feats. So we're not going to be finished that quickly. So one of the things you will notice with these live streams are very dependent on... Hello, Fred. Why, amigos? Dungeons and Chronics, hello, how are you? So as I was saying, we still need 3 more skills to select from. You have a choice of, because we've already got quite a few, rangers get a lot of skills. We've already got, so the choices still left are Arcana, Athletics, Crafting, Deception, Intimidation, Medicine, Occult, Performance, Religion, Society, Thievery. Deception. Done. I believe if you want healing, Medicine is probably the one you want. Okay? ET, if you want to deal with healing properties, I think medicine is probably, in terms of skills, it's not, yeah, so law won't be like a spell. I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Law is just information about stuff. That's what it is. So we'll take medicine, okay? That leaves us with 1 more skill to fill. Still left that we can select from. Arcana, Athletics, Crafting, Intimidation, Occult, Performance, Religion, Society, and Thievery. So if you were wanting to play a ranger and a rogue, it's actually not a combination of rogue and ranger. You don't need to do that because the ranger does what it needs to do. You don't have to be going and double dipping. You don't have to multi-class because it's unnecessary to do so. Well, I think this is one of the benefits of a system that looks at multi-classing as an unnecessary complication. I actually like that quite a lot. Y equals and in Spanish. Oh, okay. So we've got medicine. I've taken medicine. History. Yeah, exactly. If you want law. So if we go down to add a law type, history. There we go. So we've added in history as our law. Sound alright? That's what you were after? Done. Let's move on and boost some ability scores. Okay, hashtag. What ability scores do we boost? Now, since we're dex based, you might want to boost your dex again. We get to do that 4 times, so so we just can't do it in the same one. So we get strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. So pick 4 different ability scores to boost. Tell me what you want. Dex. First one is dex. Okay. If I try to take dex again, you'll notice it goes red, which means it says that's an illegal build. So we can't do that. You have to boost something else, okay? Right now, our strength is sitting at 12, if you can see on the screen there. You'll notice that we've got a dex of 18. Con is 10, so we could boost con. Intelligence is 12. Wisdom is 10. We could boost wisdom. And our charisma is 10, so we could boost that if we wanted to. So dex, yep. So we've already got dex. We've got 3 more you need to boost before we can move on. Wisdom, charisma, strength. Okay, let's do that. Wisdom, con, and strength. Done. Sweet. Great. Awesome. Next choice that we need to make, and that is we need to pick our hunter's edge. You have training for countless hours to become a more skilled hunter and tracker, gaining an additional benefit when you hunt prey, depending on the focus of your training. So choose a hunter's edge. So that's flurry, outwit, or precision. And I won't explain what they are because I don't actually know. Pick a hunter's edge. You've got 3 choices to go right now. Flurry, outwit, and precision. Okay? Yes, exactly. Anybody else can jump in here and I'll be listening, okay? Dex, con, strength. Okay, so it looks like everybody agreed. So Pale Rider's votes were pretty much what yours were, Fred. So she's all good. And Dungeons and Chronics agreed as well. So we're doing fine. So once we select our Hunter's Edge, the last major selection that we'll do is we choose a class feat, because even at level 1 you get one. Outwit sounds like fun, but I don't know its part. Okay, so let's have a look at it. We can actually click it on once we select it, and it tells us what it does. It should anyway. It will tell us later. It'll tell us later. Great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So next, choose a class feat, and there are 5 choices. Hashtag. Pick a class feat. So we have Animal Companion. So if you wanted to have an animal as a ranger, you could. We have Crossbow Ace. So obviously you're good at crossbows. Hunted Shot. Obviously that's to do with hunting and probably shooting. Monster Hunter, if you want to be a ranger that hunts down monsters. And then there's Twin Takedown. Now I'm not particularly familiar with what Twin Takedown is. You need to be... So this is for dual wielding. Okay. Class feats gets all the sexy elven girls. I don't think there's one like that right here. So yeah, Monster Hunter. It looks to me like you've got a better understanding of the creature's weaknesses when you're dealing with monsters. So +1 circumstance bonus to attack rolls against that prey. So that's what that's all about, if you're wondering. Crossbow Ace. Second Pale Rider. Roman. Crossbow Ace it is. Monster Hunter. Pale Rider's gone Monster Hunter. Alright, so that's a roll off. Got 2 different votes. I will roll it off since it just popped in just as I'm about to plonk it in. Where's my... Okay, so I got a 10-sided dice. Roll the 10-sided dice. Oh, actually, I'll use the bigger one. That way it'll hurt more when I roll it. So 1 to 10... is going to be the Crossbow Ace, and 11 to 20 is going to be the Monster Hunter. And it's Crossbow Ace because I rolled a 1. So we've got that for today. Okay, so that is everything built. We can now go to the last stage, which is the character sheet. Now, everything should be in place at this point. We shouldn't have to do very much. And just I'm selecting on, it will build our character sheet for us. And it's coming up now. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, it's given us a number of things. So we have our name, our level, we have a speed of 30 feet, we have a perception of 6, we have low light vision, we have a strength modifier of +2, dexterity modifier of +3, constitution modifier of +1, intelligence modifier of +1, wisdom modifier of +1, and a charisma bonus of 0. Our fortitude save is a 6, our reflex save is an 8, and our will save is a 4. We have an armor class currently of 16, that might go up. And we have 1 hero point, we have 17 hit points, and all of our skills have been calculated for us. Leather armor, crossbow, and dex-based sword. Okay, understood. So now we're going to do equipment. You can see our languages have been spelled out. It will also tell us if we missed anything. So over here, if you notice there's like a little yellow triangle with an exclamation mark, it means that something has been missed. So click it on, and it says here, unselected ability boost. So this is in the background section. Apparently I haven't selected something I was supposed to. And unselected language, extra language. So we're missing a language, and we're missing a background boost. So we can go back to that and edit it. Go into edit. There's a little symbol with a little cog. Go into there. So the great thing about this website is because if you make a mistake, it will help correct that problem for you. So we'll go to background and see where the problem is that what have we missed. And if we drop this down, it should show us. Okay, so we boosted once, and we're supposed to boost twice. So when you get your ancestry, you have 1 boost to select for your ability scores. Backgrounds, you get 2 boosts. When you go doing your background, 2 ability scores get boosted, but at class gets 4 ability boosts. So we need to select another one. We'll just grab, dexterity. That'll do. We now have quite a high dexterity. That's all working fine. Now the other thing is we had missed a language apparently. So let me just see if that was under ancestry. It may well have been under there. There we go. So there was a language. We didn't select the language. So we needed 1 more language. Hashtag. Pick a language. Pick a language. I'm not going to read them all out. Like, just use your imagination. Whatever sounds interesting, we'll chuck that in there. Okay. Right now, apparently we don't have that a language there. I thought we had selected Dwarven, but Dwarven is no. Oh, okay, maybe. Oh, I didn't select Dwarven last time, so that's what's wrong. Somehow I didn't click it on. Never mind. Moving on. So back to the character sheet and back to equipment. Now it'll tell us if everything's gone through properly. It's all been selected. Right, so the little yellow triangle with the exclamation mark in the corner here is gone now. So we shouldn't have any problems with that part of it. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my head because you can't see any of the gear as I'm selecting it and with the camera where it is. So I'm going to move myself and put myself over here. And that should just update. Okay, hang on. That's not what I wanted to press. No. Don't want to do that. We want to go transition. Aha, there we go. Better. All right. Back we go. Right, so we're all good now. Draconic, Fey, Common. Okay, we've got it. I sorted it out. So all of our proficiencies are listed down the side here. Our languages, which you can't see because my head's in the way, but trust me, it's all there now. We have 3. Our defenses, what we get, like, we're trained in light armor, medium armor. We can have medium armor. That's the highest armor we can have. We can have a composite short bow. We can have a short bow, a rapier, a long sword, composite long bow, unarmed attacks, martial weapons, and simple weapons. So we pretty much get everything. All our skill modifiers are figured out for us. We don't have to do any of that. Right now we're very, very good at stealth and very, very good at acrobatics. And now when we want to add some stuff, since we've got 150 silver pieces, things are a lot cheaper in Pathfinder, by the way. Somebody had said there was a few things they would like. So let's have a look here. Somebody had said leather armor. Now, we could go with leather armor, but we were also, because we are capable of wearing medium armor. So if you wanted to have medium armor, you could. Draconic. Elvish, Draconic, and Fey common. So let's go with the studded leather, since that's what Fred has suggested. Picking equipment. Here we go. If people are not happy with the studded, you let me know. So we're going to buy that. And then we're going to go with a crossbow. Style points for leather. Has the look. You don't want a puny ranger to know my language. There, you're funny. Okay, so we've got the studded leather. We need to actually equip it. Right now our armor class is 17. So if I press that... Okay, no, it's equipped already. It's already equipped. Okay, all right. So our armor class is now a 17 with our studded leather. Okay. And then next was a crossbow. We were doing a crossbow ranger, aren't we? So crossbow. Now I think when it says crossbows, it just says crossbows. It says composite short bow. I don't think we have crossbows as a thing, do we? We did pick something that was around crossbows, didn't it? Are we just going with a standard crossbow? We are. So we're going to go crossbow. Buy. All right, 3 gold. That's deducted. So you'll see there's some tabs here. Actions are listed here for all our actions that we can perform. We can scroll all the way down, so it lists everything. And then anything for our weapons. So our fists, our crossbow has been calculated. Our improvised weapon attacks have been calculated. Your attack bonus is the first column. The next one is for damage. It's nice and easy. Gives you the range. And if there's a reload feature. We have our inventory, which we're doing now. We have our details. So crossbow ace, ranger. This is what it says. You have a deep understanding of the crossbow. When wielding a crossbow, use hunt prey or use interact to reload your crossbow. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to your damage roll on your next strike with that crossbow. If the crossbow is a simple crossbow, also increase the damage die size for that attack by 1 step. So we've selected a simple crossbow. We haven't gone for a complicated one, so we get to increase the damage as well, the damage die. So it's not going to be a normal damage die. You must make the attack before the end of your next turn or these benefits are lost. So there's quite a few benefits to doing something like that. Our notes can go there. And so that, what does that mean? Our crossbow must normally do, is it 1d6? Is it 1d6? I'd be curious to know if it's a 1d6. Gnomish crossbow with speed load magazines. Regular crossbow, got it. Okay, so now what was the other stuff you had suggested here? We want a dex-based sword, so we need to do sword. Sword. And I think short sword is probably the one you want. And we'll buy short sword. Okay, so we've almost run out of money, but that's all right. That's life. You can see our short sword calculation has been figured out. Our crossbow calculation is there. We've got to get a bit more stuff, so let's grab like a backpack. Backpack, let's buy that. 1 silver, nice and cheap. Let's get a water skin. You see it? D8 crossbow. Water skin. There we go. Let's buy a water skin. 5 copper. That's added to it. We've still got plenty of weight that we can carry, so we're doing all right. I know where to get the plans to make an automatic crossbow. 10 shots per reload. Real thing, very inaccurate. We don't need to know about that. Thanks, though. Okay. Rope and food. Yes. Okay. Rope. Get our rope. Buy it. And we want to get some food, rations. Buy them. We've still got plenty of silver to spend, so we can, and we haven't fulfilled our weight requirement. Flasks of oil, and you didn't stipulate how many, so I'm just going to go buy. We'll just buy. It's 1 copper for a flask of oil, so they're pretty cheap. Not expensive at all. Fishing equipment, okay. All right. Fish. Fishing tackle. Professional fishing tackle. Well, that's for level 3, so we're just going to go with the standard one. All right, so we've still got space. We can still carry a bit more. What else would you like, people? Oh, we haven't got a bedroll, do we? We need a bedroll. Bedroll. Buy that. That's just a 2 copper, so we're done. You want 10 oils. Can I just unstore? No, unstored. Stored. Store and backpack. Store and pouch. Backpack. And move. And let's just go 10. Move. Okay, alright. I've done it. You've now got 10 oil flasks. Happy? Got your fishing equipment. We've still got some money, so if you want to spend a bit more money, you can. But we're almost there. I mean, we can also pick up a different weapon. If you decide that you don't want to have just a short sword and you want to go with, say, a long sword, we could go and just buy a long sword as well. Or 2 short swords, I suppose. You could do that. Why don't we do that? Let's do short sword. Short sword, short bow, short sword. Let's just buy another short sword. That means you could, because we are a dex-based fighter, so I'm assuming we should be able to do that if we wanted to. Okay, still got plenty of money. Look above quantity. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, there it is. So we've got that. You make your bedroll out of the first 3 goblins that you killed. Really? I hadn't considered that. Keep a little to buy an appropriate... Okay, yep, you can keep a little bit back. Yes, we can absolutely do that. So that's your character built. And like you're probably thinking, okay, well, what's the deal now? Well, now the deal is you've got a character and it's ready to go. So this is a very, very simple process. Obviously, the fact that it's got a dark background means if you don't like that light background, it's not going to sort of strain your eyes. I like the fact that they have built all the weapons that we have are already listed there, so we're ready to go if we need to. We know exactly what our numbers are going to be. There are a lot of penalties to making multiple attacks in Pathfinder. Sometimes it's not a good idea. Okay, so Dungeons and Chronics agrees. Keep a little back. Well, we can do that. No problems. No problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I'm going to give you the link to this website for those of you who are trying to build a Pathfinder character. You should be able to build a Pathfinder character very easily with little to no knowledge of the game. Okay, so if that's where you're starting at, you should have no trouble. If someone wants to be a female, all right, okay, lovely. Anyway, let me just jump over to here and find the website right there. Let's copy this. And I'll just drop this into chat. This is the website. It's down in the description. You'll find a link to this down in the description as well. This is the Wanderer's Guide. This is for Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and it pretty much has all the things you need to be able to build a character fairly successfully without a lot of pre-knowledge. Like, you should be able to walk through this pretty easily. If you follow what I've been doing, not going to be a problem. I believe there is a couple of channels, or at least one channel, No Nat Ones, I think it is, has a sort of an edited version on how to build a character with the Wanderer's Guide. But we'll be building characters for the next few months, actually, because there's a few characters to get through in this game. I'm going to end the poll that I'd put up. And so, should a ranger have superpowers or magical spells? Yes, 43%. No, 31%. Undecided, 25%. Just watching, 0. So out of 16 votes. Pretty good. It's 7:47. That's an airplane. Must fly. No problems. Thank you for being here, Fred. I am actually going to go too. So this arrived just recently, just like very, not that long ago. So there's a package waiting for me at the post office, apparently. So I thought it would be a good idea to go and pick up that package. I'm not sure what it is. It might be Ultra Modern 5, which would be a shock to my system because I can't imagine it getting to me that quickly. But if Ultra Modern 5 has shown up, that's really good news. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. So I'm going to go down to the post office, find out what that is. Tomorrow we are going to be going over Dungeons and Dragons I'm going to be going over Dungeons and Dragons 4th Ed Edition. So 4E. We'll be doing basic combat. So the basic combat actions in Dungeons and Dragons 4E. That's what I'm doing tomorrow for those of you who are interested. Other than that, we're done for today. That was really quick, wasn't it? Anyway, I want to say a big thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep running this program for you every single week. This is something we do every single week. We build a new character for a different system. We will work our way through Pathfinder 2nd Ed Edition first and probably move on to basic or Back Me Dungeons and Dragons or something else. We'll see. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Back Me at this present time. I want to thank everybody who's been in the chat. I want to thank F. Hubber or Fred Hubber for all of his input, specifically at the very beginning, because otherwise I wasn't going to get very much done because there was nobody actually saying anything. But thank you for being here, Diago, and is it Global Product and Gaming Review. Roman, thank you for being here. E.T. Bays, thanks for being here, mate. And I believe we had Dungeons and Chronics, I said that. Pale Rider's been here with us as well. And Ancient Dragon. Hey, thank you for being here. Hank, thank you for hanging out. I'll catch up with you next time. And so wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And those of you who are just watching, thank you for being here, and hopefully you come back. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. I'm not doing a live stream taking myself to the to the post office. That ain't happening. Charles is a patron, by the way. Thank you for being here.